Greetings and welcome back to Switch to Linux. Today's Saturday afternoon talk, we're going to be talking about, does the early bird always get the worm? So that is the question we are going to ask ourselves today. And this is a topic that you hear a lot about this. And before we go too far into it, let's go ahead and jump on over to the comments and see who's watching so far. All right, Frost, greetings. You're fine with Snickers. Snickers. I should go get some Snickers. That sounds good. All right, anyway, Q1 Fiend. I always thought the second bird got the worm. The first is normally too eager and fumbles it. Hello, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master. What's up? All right, Q1 Fiend. Not much cleaning the basement, waiting for the stream. All right, not much stalking the live stream. All right, if only 30 minutes. Anyone else here? Or is everyone else away from the keyboard this morning? Great to see Tom streaming at a reasonable hour. Usually only stream can watch. Good morning, pop culture. Yeah. I try and do at least one early one a week. So that's Saturday generally, when I'm generally not working with my other stuff. So works out well for me. All right. Bitlop doesn't think he's away from the keyboard. Could be using a stick to type, but you're not. All right. Using the keys with your hands, so you're not. Okay, good. All right, so that makes two people. Anyone know what the worm is? Come on, man. It's the old expression. The early bird gets the worm. That's what we're going to be talking about. It's I don't know if you've ever heard that expression. I don't know if it's just a United States thing or something you just find in business motivation stuff, but you always hear that expression. The early bird gets the worm. Early bird gets the worm. All right. Let's see. We've got Nintendo if you want proof, I guess. Their system's always allowed to be the worst. If they could just wait a year or two, they could outpower their competitors. The distro had a bird as its logo. Don't know. Well, Twitter, or not Twitter. Farron OS has a bird as its logo. Parrot does, yeah. Alright, I was told that I eat like a bird. Do you like go down, peck? Maybe eat spaghetti like a bird, right? Alright, the last distro of that type was Kali, but after I installed it, too many tools stopped working. I was able to get some installed on Mint. Alright, let's see. Has anyone talked to the devs of Trigent? No. Distro 2 updated as GhostBSD review. With the YouTube crap, it's hard to tell. Yeah, you got to just go to people's pages if you want anything other than the corporate promotion type stuff, I guess. Jockix, greetings. How's it going there? Don't like Lumina. Sounds like a sucks bad version of LXQT. I'd rather use TDE. Would like it if I could use Q4 OS version on Ubuntu. Alright. Heard about it from BSD now. The only guys at Jupiter Broadcasting who are not shills for Intel and System 76. Yeah. And Canonical. Don't forget Canonical. Looks like you lost the big worm today. Did I lose the big worm? That's going to be our question. Did I lose the big worm or not? Alright. Waiting for the kitty. Hello, Q1 Fiend. How are you? Oh, I'm stretching. Yeah. Hi, how are you? All right. Most cheap Windows laptops with high specs work fine on Linux. Yep. Apparently, Linux vendors don't have to pay for a Windows license. It doesn't help the price. Okay. How live streams anymore. The last time was lost was still a thing. Oh. Pizza. I haven't said pizza. Hello there. On a phone that is either the same price on iPhone 10 or in some cases better than the iPhone 10 for 120. Yep. Hello, Joe. How's it going there? Blue phones. Daniel, greetings. KO2610 and James Miller. Hello there. Alright, so 76 claims they picked the best hardware. I want features or security, but they want the money. They better add on something cool like GBA reader for ripping ROMs, you know. The latest retarded thing coming out is automatic hydraulic car doors that have no latching lock. Oh boy, yeah, if you ever had a car with, like, you know, one of the electronic dashboards or keypad entry or things like that, you know that they're not always consistent. That's just scary. Windows computer gets the worm. Yes it does. Yes it does indeed. It's a bad day to be the worm. Budgie 11, Half-Life 3 of Solace. All right. Windows has WinNSAKey.exe. That's exciting. All right, well, let's go ahead and talk about our discussion, and then we'll come back and we can chat for maybe up to about an hour or so after that. So, all right, so there's that old expression, the early bird gets the worm, and you see all sorts of things on the internet. If you just do simple searches, wake up early, you're just going to find hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of articles on it. I just did a quick thing, and I looked at a couple brief things. Waking up early is easier than you think. 10 simple things early risers do. Let go of the morning baggage. Picture your ideal morning. Tell only your loved ones about your plan. Only focus on one act at a time. Find an alarm that doesn't turn you into the Hulk. Keep your mornings pressure-free. Eliminate excuses to sleep in. Refuse to break the chain. Keep track of what you've accomplished and practice waking up early. And a big annoying popover ad, apparently. This one here is, what's this called? The 50-30-10-10 rule for how to wake up early and work on your dream. 50% determination. Let's see if there's anything else in here. The preparation, going to bed early, winding down before bed, planning my morning the day before, no more drinking caffeine after 2 p.m. Good, it's still 1. Exercising during the day, the execution, you know, and then there's the luck factor. So you have all sorts of these things, 10 reasons you should wake up early and how to do it. You know, greet the day, amazing start, quietude, sunrise, breakfast, exercise, productivity, goal time, commute, appointments. And then, of course, how to be an early riser. There's a couple of videos. Now, a friend of mine actually introduced me to this topic because he's trying this right now, and I wish him luck. And I said, do it and see if it works for you. See if it boosts your productivity. I'm of the opinion that this stuff is a gimmick. All right, so the reason I think that this is more of a gimmick is it's focused on our 9-to-5 culture. I break out of the 9-to-5 culture. Just don't be a 9-to-5 culture guy. I mean, really, if you just break out of the 9-to-5 culture, you're not sitting here going, oh, I got to wake up early because I got to get 15 things done before I run off to work. Just don't run off to work so fast, I guess. Now, obviously, if you do have a standard 9-to-5 job, waking up early is definitely going to help because you're definitely more energized earlier than you are after doing an 8-hour shift at work. All right, now, I've done my fair share of waking up super early. I've done my fair share of staying up really late. And so there is, that's the situation that we come to. Is it really a benefit for us to wake up super early? Does it really help us? Does the early bird get the worm? I'm under the impression that sometimes the early bird doesn't get the worm. And the reason is because the night owl already ate it. All right, here's what's important, fundamentally important. This is coming from a person who does a lot of things. I run a couple different businesses here. I'm always doing things. I'm productive 12 to 15 hours in a given day, but I also make sure I'm getting between 7 and 8 hours of sleep. For me, and if you look around all this kind of stuff, ultimately, if we look at the various trends and the various tasks, here's your most important thing. Are you getting enough sleep? If you're wearing out your body, if you're not getting enough sleep consistently, if you're losing sleep, you're waking up, you're jarring your body out of rest with a loud noise by your head, you're disrupting your body's natural ability to heal itself, to care for itself, and to rest itself, and to rejuvenate itself. And so ultimately, the important thing is, do you get somewhere between 6 and 9 hours of sleep in a night? So for me, what's most important is don't wake up to an alarm clock. If you got to wake up to an alarm clock, you're jarring your body. You are increasing cortisol levels, which increases ill health effects. Really, if you decrease everything, if you are getting enough rest, I know for me, if I don't get enough rest, I'm going to break out in zits. I'm going to be weary all day. I'm going to have gastrointestinal issues. I have all sorts of things. Every one of those is cured with enough sleep. So I set my life up to never use an alarm clock outside of very important specific meetings. If there's some meeting I go to early in the morning, set an alarm clock. For the most part, I don't wake up to alarm clocks. Now, you can shift your times between the days. And so looking at all of these points, why is it that people are saying that we should wake up early in the morning? Okay, so let's have a look at this kind of stuff. Greet the day. Do I have to wake up at 5 a.m. to greet the day? Trust me, time is a force unreckonable. It's going to the day is going to show up until God decides not to let it show up again. It's going to keep showing up. I can greet the day at 9 a.m. I can greet the day at 5 a.m. Is it not more important to get enough rest? The amazing start. I used to start my day by jumping out of bed, late as usual, rushing. Well, stop doing that. Stop rushing all over the place. Slow down a little bit. Wake up in the morning. Read a little book or something. Read some scripture if you're so inclined to faith like I am. That's why, I've already read the Bible 1.25 times this year. I'm still, I'm a couple days behind because my last few days I had to stop and focus on a few and very intense things. But I'll get caught up. It's going to take me about 4 or 5 days to get completely right back up to where I was, because I usually read more than I need to read. And so I never rush to get out of bed in the morning. Set your life up so you don't have to. Now, obviously, if you have a specific job, you have a specific thing you have to do, you need to practice and balance yourself to wake up early. We'll get into that in a bit. Quietude. No kids yelling, no babies crying, no soccer balls, no cars, no television. Again, if you're a person that happens to have kids in the house, you might need to either wake up, or here's a fun tip, wake up when your kids wake up, get them off to school, and guess what? You have 6 hours at least. Well, the way that some of these schools are going, 7 or 8 hours without your children there. You can get up, get the kids off to school, and then get your nice cup of coffee, get your, whether it's news, whether it's your Bible, whether it's a book you're reading for yourself, you can slow down a little bit at that point in time. The kids are fine. They're off to school. And you know what? If they're not off to school, they're homeschooled, whatever else, it's very simple. You set up a quiet pattern for your whole household. I know, isn't that shocking? So you guys can get up and just rest throughout your day. Sunrise. People who wake up late miss one of the greatest features in nature. Repeated in full stereo vision each and every day. The rise of the sun. I've seen it. It gets boring. It does. It's like if you eat steak and lobster every day in, day out, or even steak and lobster turns into cardboard. Okay, yeah, catching a sunrise is a fabulous, beautiful, wonderful thing. I'd rather let my body sleep in and rest. Breakfast. Rise early and you actually have time for breakfast. I'm told it's one of the most important meals of the day. We've all been told it's one of the most important meals of the day. It was fabricated by, it was post-medieval times, but this 3 meals a day thing that we have is a very prompt fabrication. It's not necessarily the best, most important meal. It became the best, most important meal when the consumer trends taught us that we should start our day with a balanced breakfast, like Cocoa Puffs. Look at the stuff you're feeding us for breakfast these days. It is sugar on top of sugar on top of sugar on top of sugar. It's toxic. It's toxic. Exercise. Yeah, I do exercise really before I start the day and at the end of the day. I do both. I get some good basic weight type stuff in the morning, and I run at night. I'm certainly not going to run. I'm not going to run during the peak rush hour traffic. That's just asking for death. So I'm not going to be running down the street when everyone's trying to leave for work. I'm not running in the heat of the day. At night after dark, it's nice. It's nice to run. It's cool. It's refreshing. Everything's calmed down. There's very little traffic. That's the ideal time to run. Or walk, if you prefer that. Productivity. Mornings, for me at least. Notice that all these are for me at least. Mornings, for me at least, is the most productive time of the day. I like to do some writing in the morning, but there's no distractions before I check email or blog stats. Here's a fun tip for you guys. I don't actually come into my office until 2 p.m. I don't, actually, I do check the email on my phone when I first get up in the morning, because there might be something pressing. If there's something pressing, sure, I'll go to the office, take care of the one pressing item, and then turn the computers back off. I don't go into the office until 2. Doesn't have to. Don't have to at all. I check it briefly. I come into the office at 2. I turn on the computers. I check the emails. I do all the things I need to do. And then I work. Goal time. Got goals? We all should. There's no better time to review them and do your goal tasks than first thing. First thing doesn't have to be 5 a.m., people. First thing can be when you first wake up. By the way, it's actually better to do your goals at night before you go to sleep. Way better to do your goals at night before you go to sleep, because they're on your mind as you sleep throughout the day. You wake up in the morning knowing what you need to do, rather than wake up in the morning going, I should go check my goal list. Let's just turn off the alarm clock because 5 a.m. Too early. And invariably what happens is when people try and do this thing where they wake up at 5 in the morning is they get up, they get jarred out of sleep, they hit the snooze button, and they fall back asleep for another 4 or 5 hours. Invariably, that's what happens. The commute. No one likes rush hour traffic except Big Oil. Okay. Commute early and the traffic is much lighter. Sure. If you have to travel somewhere for your work, I don't. I'm fortunate that I don't have to travel somewhere for my work. If you do have to travel for your work, it makes sense to get up a little bit earlier. And guess what? That just means that you're doing something slightly different than other people. You're challenging, again, that 9 to 5. You don't want to have like an Office Space moment where you go in there and the old guy with a walker is passing you. You don't want that. Then appointments. It's easier to make those early appointments on time if you get up early. Or just don't set appointments too early in the morning. All right, so those are some of the tips. Of course, this video here, the 6 shocking benefits of waking up at 5:30 a.m., this is a really good video. But again, everything he's talking about, he goes into, you get up in the morning and, and if you get up later, you're too tempted to turn on the news and see what news broadcasters on, whatever else. And this is what brings me to my ultimate point. When you get up, you might be at your sharpest. But 5 a.m. is not necessarily when we're sharpest. We're sharpest when we get up. Plan your life around it. If you're fortunate like I am, where you don't have to go into an office or you can set your own schedule, you wake up when it is best for you to get up. You make sure the most important thing isn't that you rise early, it's that you get enough sleep. Because the time period of when we get up is inconsequential compared to the rest that we actually get. Now, with that being said, I have had my fair share of work where I've had to wake up early in the morning. I used to open a bakery 30 miles away from where I lived at 5:30 in the morning. So on those, for that job, I literally just had to shift my schedule. I had to be asleep by 8. Get up by 8. I'd get up, and yes, I would get up with an alarm clock. The unfortunate reality of the place I was at that time, I'd get up at 4:30 in the morning or so, and I'd drive into the place. I'd get me my coffee. I wouldn't rush out fast the door as fast as I could, but I'd get up. I'd kind of rush on out, and not rush out. I'd get my coffee. I'd head on out, and then I'd get to the bakery on time. I'd open it. I'd get all my work done, and then I'd usually be able to leave early because I was a very fast worker at the bakery. Leave the bakery, head home, and then what ended up happening is, I'd end up having all the time after leaving work a little bit early until 8. So I still had a good 6 hours in my day. Now, I also taught at a university that was 50 miles from where I lived, and that was a 8 a.m. class. Ever have chemistry at 8 a.m.? If you think attending chemistry at 8 a.m. is bad, you should try teaching chemistry at 8 a.m. Of course, it's over an hour mile when it wasn't a blizzard out. So I would, again, go to sleep 5 in the morning, or not 5 in the morning. I wake up about 5 in the morning. I would go to sleep at, I want to say I went to sleep around 9 at that point in time. Wake up at 9. Thank you, Analog, for the super chat. I'll get to that in a minute. I'd go to sleep around 9. I'd wake up at 5 in the morning. I generally wake up without an alarm clock, but I'd set it, of course, just in case. 5 a.m., I get up. I read my Bible for about, I'd read about 6 chapters at that point in time. So 6 chapters in the morning, read the Bible. And then when I read the Bible for six chapters, then what I would do is I would go out and I would make myself 2 cups of coffee, 2 travel mugs. So I had one of those coffee pot makers that would basically make 2 travel mugs side by side, and I would take 2 travel mugs with me. One of those was to drink on the way to the college, and the other one was to drink during the first class period. And then I would just drink water the rest of the day. So I just have 2 travel mugs, not much like my awesome shop.switchedtolinux.com for a Switch to Linux coffee cup. All right, so I would kind of do that kind of stuff. And then really, you figure out how to make everything work. Now, if you happen to have a job where you don't set your schedule necessarily, where you have to be at an office at a certain period of time, yeah, you want to shift your things around. But you don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. to be productive. It boils down to 2 factors. The number 1 factor is, as I've said over and over, do you get enough rest? As long as you get enough rest, you're fine. Number 2, it deals with the core thing that everything is missing. It's called motivation. And I learned this as a student because, school can be hard, especially if you go to high school, which is like, you can be brain dead and have a pulse. And brain dead, have a pulse, and you can head on out to school, and heading on out to school, you'll pass. And as long as you're not a complete retard and you show up, at least your body shows up and sits in the chair, drooling on stuff, you'll at least pass with A's or B's, or maybe it's B's or C's. But you go off to college, it's hard. So of course I went off to college, and it was hard. And I'm thinking, maybe it's my chemistry book's not good. So I'd go to the local bookstore and I'd buy help books on chemistry books. I'd buy the little help topics to help learn the material better. And what I realized is that the problem isn't that I had the wrong book. The problem is that I wasn't using the book I had. And it's the same thing with these wake up at 5 a.m. It's not a matter of when you wake up. It's a matter of, are you using the time you have? Because we all have the same amount of time in any given day. We all have 24 hours in a given day. We have 168 hours in a given week. The question is, what do you spend your time doing? Motivation is what it comes down to. It has nothing to do with when you wake up. It has to do with your motivation. If you wake up in the morning and you're inclined to spend the first 3 hours of your day wasting it watching silly stuff online, cat videos and stuff like that, I mean, watch stuff like this, it'll help you grow. Now, but if you wake up in the morning, you spend hours and hours of time just goofing off, watching the news, doing nothing else, playing a game on your cell phone, anything like that, it's a motivation factor. You wake up early, you're just going to do the same things over and over. You're just going to do them earlier. It boils down to motivation. Because even in this video here, he's talking here about creativity. The creativity hours. He says, how do you spend your time after 10 p.m.? Here's his assumption. His assumption is after 10 p.m., we're all drinking alcohol with our friends. We're all just watching Netflix or whatever else and all this kind of stuff. Again, that has nothing to do with when you wake up in the morning. It has to do with motivation. Am I motivated to do my work rather than go out drinking with my friends? Am I motivated to do my work instead of sit there and binge watch episodes on Netflix? I'm not saying you can't do any of those things. What I'm saying is that it's a matter of motivation. I wake up when I wake up in the morning. Today it was around 9 or so. 9 or 10 I think I first woke up. I get up around 9 or 10. I check the email because I usually check the email on the phone before I really even get out of bed. Actually, in this case, get off the couch, because I usually sleep on my couch. I just like it better. Check it. Worked great. Nothing pressing an email. I put the phone down. I would usually read in the morning. I did not actually read this morning because I have a bunch of other things. I'm still working on catching up a couple little fine things. I get up in the morning, and the typical day, I run over, and before I do anything else, I go into the weight room, and I spend about just 30 minutes doing light weightlifting. Just light weightlifting, push-ups, sit-ups, curls, anything like that kind of stuff, and just all that kind of stuff. And then I'll see, do I have errands to run? If I have errands to run, I'm going to take my book with me. I'm going to go to one of the parks in town, and I walk for about 20 or 30 minutes and read. Learn how to couple things together. I walk and I read at the same time, which is certainly, it takes a little bit of practice, but it's a good skill to gain because you can get an exercise and growing your mind at the same time. So I'll walk and read, do all that. And then what I'm going to do is take care of any errands that I have while I'm out. And then I make sure I'm home by 2 o'clock. At 2 o'clock, my whole bake of computers in the office turns on, and I am working. I usually do web design work from like 2 to 5. 5 o'clock, I stop and record a video. Push the video out. I'll make myself dinner. I'll come back. I'll do a couple other little video things. And then around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, I'm going to work from then until 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. It depends on what project I'm working on, how the types of things we're working out, and all that kind of stuff like that. So there's a lot of different factors that I needed to take care of right there. And so for me, it's a matter of motivation. This early bird that comes around after my office, there ain't no worms for the early bird to get because the night owl scooped them all up. Because I got 8 hours of productivity, I got exercise, I got healthy eating, home cooking, I got reading in, a little bit more exercise, and my day is extremely full, extremely lovely, extremely relaxed. That's why I'm one of the only people I know about my age that's not taking pills for things. It's crazy. All right, so with that being said, we're going to jump over to the comments, but before we jump to the comments, I'm going to have to be right back. I'm going to leave you with a kitty. Hopefully he stays there for about 2 or 3 minutes. I'll be right back. All right, and we are back. See where we left off. Analog, thank you for the super chat once again. Appreciate that. All right, basically lots of people like Solus, but just like FPS these days, they suck and XFCE is better. I don't know. I think Solus is pretty good. I'm using Solus right now on my backup PC, and it's pretty nice. It's the one place that's driving me crazy is the at first the thing was timing out the screen too much. Now it's not timing out the screen at all. It's like, dude, I want to be able to turn that feature on and off, but apparently I can't. I just take to turn off the monitor when I'm not going to be around for a few minutes. Yeah, I bought my new Nexus 5X for $100 on Amazon. Still a great phone. Up at 6 a.m. every day. My friend sleeps till noon. Losers. Yeah. Yeah, as long as though they're working until they go to sleep, that's all right, you know. I need an alarm clock loud enough to reanimate the dead, or I'll ignore everything else. There you go. There you go. Drinking coffee too now. All right. I wake up 4 a.m. 6 days a week. Pizza OS, made by Battery Life Triple. Pizza OS. What, kitty? What? Do you want to come up? Hello, everyone. How are you guys? How you doing, buddy? You good, kitty? Are ya? All right. All right. There we are. Go get some kitty on the camera. All right, going to bed early. Yep. I wake up early, then I work on my first task, sleeping. Nice. All right. I wake up all the demons. I mean, mortally challenged spirits. There you go. Mortally or morally? Mortally challenged spirits. That's a demon, a morally challenged spirit. Phone 10 also has negative support, though, because Apple. Yep. Yep, dead after work. Yeah, if you're definitely dead after work, you might need to get up early and take care of some stuff. It's just my main point is it's not the most important, most critical thing to do, and that's kind of what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? And so you know, it's just that kind of. There you go. Add some color back there. All right. Let's see. Laptop to SSD out, but made the USB first boot. Always had sleep problems. 10 is a bunch of fancy stuff you'd probably never use or notice. Yep. Get much sleep sometimes because I watch a stream at 2 in the morning. Sensors on the notch are pretty much exclusively for use for Face ID. Yep, something I do not want to use. Small hands, so I like small phones because it's hard for me to reach the top of screens on an iPhone 8 Plus or iPhone 10. Yeah. So, sleep didn't cure those problems for me. Well, you know. There's other factors too, man. I no longer stream because I've been stream at 2 seconds per frame. Wow. I'm not Russian, I'm American. Want to read the Bible for history, part of it. I mean, read Genesis, because that's very interesting in the historical parts. Like Genesis, Ruth, 1 Samuel through 2 Kings. Those are kind of your more historical parts of it. Don't wait, remove the mold today with Yahoo search. What? Most of these articles don't point out is you have to go to bed early. You can't invent more time. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing, you know. And I'm not worth. It's not worth for me to. It's not worth it for me to lose sleep entirely for stuff. That to me just doesn't make any sense. So I recommend getting a good full amount of sleep. And then just use what the time you do have for the best motivation you can. What's poppin', yo? Greetings. Realized I left my charger at my mom's house. Uh-oh. Not running anywhere because I'm crippled. Okay. Running with heavy traffic around is also why cycling to work may not be such a healthy thing to do. Yep, breathing in all that crap. Yeah, I agree. A friend of mine would bike into work. He biked in, I think, 10 or 15 miles to work, but he did it on the back roads that didn't have a lot of traffic. Stopped eating Raisin Bran because I say baked. Oh, a dead fly baked in it once. Ew. Q1 Fiend has the intelligence of a small rodent until about 10. I did that in grad school. We had our PI in grad school, who's kind of like your boss. He was one of those 9 to 5 guys, and so my body would show up at 9 o'clock. I never did any work until afternoon. You know, I mean, I'd show up at 9 o'clock, and I'd get on the blogs. I'd do pretty much anything but work until after lunch. After lunch, I'd come back. I'd hit it hard until about 5. Go home, have a nice dinner, come back about 8, and I'd work hard until about 3. Fortunately, I did lose some sleep then because I'd wake up, be here by 9. But yeah, I don't have the intelligence of a small rodent before 10, but I'm certainly not as productive before 10. It's just a matter of motivation. How are you using your time? That's the principle. You can use your time better at 5 a.m. as you can at 10 a.m. It really doesn't matter. Running the evening is best. You are running for the mosquitoes before you lose all your blood. Yeah, there you go. Run! The DOS Boss greetings. I think everyone has a natural cycle of waking and sleeping. If you can adhere to natural rhythms, it works best. Yep. Muggers. Yeah, I mean, I was only shot at once, and I stumbled upon a rape once, you know. But, you know, it's all good, though. It's all good. Add spice to life. Okay, quality content right here. Oh, thank you, man. Analog, thanks again for that. All right, better bring your battle ready armor. You guys should smash that like button. Smash it. Smash that like button. Just don't smash it too hard. I want it to work tomorrow, too. All right. Okay. Early bird got the worm only because the night owl already got the mouse. Yeah. Oh. Bit a lot broke the like button. Uh-oh. Yeah, fortunately I don't live in a city with a lot of big muggers. So, you know, definitely adjust things around to fit your schedule, safety of your, you know, places and things. So Mint 1803 on an old MacBook works well. Very good. No, sit around the house. All right. Much better and faster than Mac, I agree. I'm woke, huh? Yeah, that's the thing, yeah. Tom seems asleep to me. Oh, excuse me. What? No. Hey, man, I woke up. Okay, having goals is also as important as motivation. You have to have something to be motivated about. Yep, Tom appears to be taking inspiration from Jordan Peterson. I've never watched Jordan Peterson. I wouldn't know. Sit around watching YouTube videos and listening to music. All right. Frost Ranger is most productive at night. I am as well. That's why I generally work at night. Movie Office Spaces was more accurate than I thought. Yep. Which links for Wednesday live stream? Can you look at my OS? If so, please read the entire README. Dude, I don't read READMEs. What are you talking about? $41 watching, only 16 thumbs up. 16 plus 1. All right. Robert Miller, greetings. Yes, I know what you mean, Tom. I've been suffering with lack of motivation for a long time. That's the thing. Just get motivated. Like, start by you know what? One of the best books out there. One of my best books of all time. Let me actually grab a copy real quick. Hold on. Sit there, kitty. Sit there. Good boy. Stay. 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 Just grabbing a book, cat. Just grabbing a book. I'm just grabbing a book. You can stay. I'm back. I'm back. Come on. There you go. All right. One of the best books of all times, Power of Focus. Pick a copy of this book up. There is, you can use the Amazon affiliate link in my description down below. You can probably get it for a couple cents too. This book here is all about goal setting, how to set goals, how to keep them, having a master plan, things like that. So it'll be, it's just one of the best books on how to do that. They probably get into the wake up early strategy as well. You know, I would obviously disagree with that part, as you can tell. So take a look at that book. It's called The Power of Focus by Jack Canfield, Mark Victor Hansen, and Les Hewitt. Canfield, of course, is the author of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. So check out that book if you're needing motivation or things. And there, I actually have let me see if I can find it. One of the outdoor philosophies last year was all about that book. All right, let's see. Playlists. No, not that. Maybe I don't have a specific playlist for... Let's see. Here's First Things First. I do not think I actually did a playlist for that. I did First Things First, which is another really good one. You'd have to look through the series to find them, I guess. Maybe I'll see if I can do that. Come here, you. Come here, you. Hey, you. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Chill. Sit. Still a good cat. All right, we're going over here because the cat's not being cooperative right now. All right. Relax till I'm on fire. Yep. He's in good shape, just like Toss. Well, I'm not as good shape as I should be. A little rounder than I should be, but you know. Mine is 2015 MBA, so I got screwed by Apple. More like violated. They took my money and now they want hand over fist for me to fix it by buying a new one. Yep. Cat really can't be bothered to move, just keeping an eye on things, that's all. Yep. Those who care, what would you say to Farron OS going KDE? Make it an option, but the problem is KDE can be a little bit harder for some people, so if you have KDE as an option, I think that might be it. My age, getting out of bed is my morning exercise. There you go. Hello, Robert. How are you? All right. Apple really likes to make things look modern and shiny. Or unicorn colored. I don't know. I'm a student, so I can't afford to replace it. Louis Rossman is out of price range for me. Yep. Unfortunately. Apple is a horrible company. It won't fix their things if they don't feel like it, and the repair shop's rules are pure insane. Yeah, which their repair shop rules are... They're just shills. Please focus. Be honest with myself. Also, need to disengage from the distractions of the crazy world. Yes. Like to see that cat catch a mouse instead of stretch out on the floor. Nah. Are you good at catching mice? I don't know. Dad sleeps till 11 and he doesn't have a job. Uh-oh. Early bird does not get the worm. The bird that stayed up through the night gets it. Yep. First shift, second shift, third shift, as long as it gets done. Yep. That's why I generally do essentially a second shift is what I do. Last and guest video, we got Louis Rossman from New York to fix the Mac. Yep. Pizzeria OS. There you go. 8:30. Yep. Coffee. Walkabout with the dog. Back in shower, back out, feed chickens, breakfast dishes, housework, internet, projects, whatever needs, yeah. Pears, but I do like their products. Very pricey, but yeah. Software am I using to stream? Hey, no problem, man. No problem whatsoever. I am running Linux Mint Cinnamon as my OS. I'm actually using OBS to do my streaming. So here's actually my stream setup of all of my variety of different catches over here. This one actually plays Happy Birthday for my guests. Goes off into Affinity, you know, so that's what I'm using to stream. And here are my settings. Getting these settings right on OBS is a little bit of a pain. I can't show you all the detailed settings because we're actually streaming, but you can see what I'm doing here. So these are what all my settings look like. I'm outputting 1080p. Let me go back to my comment thread. All right. Your dad okay? Is there a reason? Gonna get food. Farron OS is better than Mint, by the way. Pair compatibility. They like proprietary stuff. 8 hours of work, 8 hours of entertainment, 8 hours deep sleep. There you go. Except I do more like 12 to 15 hours of work and cut the entertainment back quite a bit, you know. Self, I'm not a fan of, since they can be installed on their own devices for the most part. Yep, Apple's just like proprietary stuff, which is a horrible way to do things. Genesis is hard to decode. Not really. Claims the... Wait, what? Apple repair. I suggest watching Louis Rossman's channel. Yep. Another decent phone could be OnePlus devices. They started life powered by Cyanogen Mod. Yep. And actually they have the OnePlus phone has their first carrier deal coming in. Should be approved finally here. I think they're dealing with T-Mobile first. Tells you when Pangea split up. In his days, the Earth was divided. Alright, pirate. Arrgh. Know what a pirate's favorite letter is? Arrgh. Nintendo generally hates emulators, but by Nintendo, yeah. The funny thing is, though, is they're like, emulators are bad, ROMs are bad, blah, 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 and they stole the other people's ROMs to put in their device. It's kind of funny. Nintendo's become such a slime ball of a company. See you later, Alice. Link the OS on Skype. That would be best. And maybe link it Tuesday night or Wednesday morning, too. Telling Cat to stay is optimism for sure. That is right. He stayed, though. I was impressed. Core, but the rest is... we have GUI already. We have Snaps. Also have an app competitor. GUI, let's see. Fairness is using KDE as an emergent DE because GTK4 is messing up some themes. You have Switch and KDE is still an emergency thought. I would, of course, try to make it as similar to Sin as possible. Well, what about having two different desktop environments? I mean, that might be too much overload for you, but see. OBS Studio is generally what it's called. Okay, like Apple and make perhaps less features macOS you can legally install on any computer. Yeah. MX Linux is the best. There you go. All right. There's Neon that would make sense if you can do something new. Mint dropped KDE. Maybe you should try it. Going to lunch with my mom and sister. See you later, Steven Anderson. Later. ARM Switch came out their device convinced 2020 there was an iPhone CPUs on the Mac. Huh. WWDC is Worldwide Developers Conference. Cinnamon or KDE and XFCE already happening. Nice. Very good. Very cool indeed. XFCE would be better. Yeah, I mean, I like XFCE. It's not as polished as I'd like it to be, but it certainly is. It's good. It works and things like that. Is that a pug and something else? What? I think we're going to do our final call for comments. So let's go ahead and do what we have to do on any of these types of streams. We have to end by feeding a kitty. Oh boy, kitty. Oh boy, kitty. Gotta get the first one yourself, buddy. People like that paw action. Get it, get it. Yeah, good boy. All right, there's another one for ya. And let's do one right into this camera down here. There you go. Yeah. Are they finger licking good? They're finger licking good. Yeah. Oh, you're going to abandon me now that the feeding is over? Where are you? All right, let's see. 415 kernel is not mainline, it's their own. Oh, okay. You think GNU NTFS is a good idea? I don't know. Not seen that. Good tablet Linux distro. The only one I know is Android x86. I thought there's a couple other ones. Pizza, didn't you know of another good Android distro? Yeah, I like KDE better, but you might be right. XFCE is a lot easier to use. Maybe they'll go ARM. At least I hope they don't go ARM. No, don't link it to me now. I probably wouldn't get it. Tuesday's best. Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and wrap this guy up. Once again, you can help support the channel. Check out switchtolinux.com/support for all the ways you can help support the channel. You can get some nice, amazing swag. I got coffee cups for those trying to wake up at 5 in the morning. Get some coffee going. Shop.switchetolinux.com and check out the Patreon page, patreon.com/Tom M. Also check out thinklifemedia.com, information on all of my channels. So thanks for coming, and we will catch you guys later.